Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel and my main goal for 2024 is to work through the massive backlog of games that I've got ever since I started collecting them. January actually got off to a really good start. I've probably played more games this month than I did in the whole of 2023. So I thought it'd be fun to share them with you and give a little review on each one. Starting with Cheer. This game really pleasantly surprised me. I thought it was just going to be a game about exploration, but there was a lot of story in there. There was a lot of difficult topic as well, like grief. There was magic, and there was just a lot of unexpected things that I didn't expect from the game. I went into it a bit blindly. I didn't really know what it was about, apart from that the creators wanted to share a lot of the New Caledonia culture. I did have the PlayStation Plus subscription, which expired early January, so I was trying to play a lot of games before that ran out, and Cheer was one of them. It had a lot more features than I was expecting, so it has this whole ukulele playing one where you can play the song similar to like The Last of Us, and the music in this game was really nice. It was a bit hard to understand what they were singing about and watch the lyrics while playing at the same time, but they did have an autoplay feature. I didn't really use it though because I quite enjoyed playing. They had a ton of customization options which you can get as the story progresses and when you find certain items. So you've got different clothes that you can wear. There's a lot of options for your little raft that you travel about on, and part of the story includes face painting, so there's a lot of different face painting options that you can get, and tons more things like, your ukulele, cowboy boots, which I loved. But yeah, I would recommend this one to anyone playing. It was really nice. The story had unexpected turns, and it was really interesting to learn about all the culture that they had there, which was the main point of the game. So yeah, it's a yes from me. Next up is the Minish Cap. I've been working on this game for a while. It's a lot longer of a game than I was expecting. I'm on a journey to play through all of the Zelda games, most of them for the first time ever, because I only kind of got into it sort of a year or two ago. So January I finally finished the Minish Cap. It was a lot more difficult than I was expecting, a lot longer of a game than I was expecting. I do like to collect the Zelda guides because I find that I really need them. But this one didn't have one, so there was a lot of time spent looking up the guide online, which was a bit annoying. I don't love doing that, but genuinely needed it. Like there's so many different places that have like hidden areas of the walls that you can bomb that I would have never guessed on my own. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I think this is probably up there at the minute. I mean, I've only played a handful of the games, but this is up there probably with my top 5 so far. I love the story, I love the music, I love the art style, I love the adventure as a whole. And I also really like games where I can make notes. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I like to have my notebook and pen out, like how I used to play games when I was younger. There's a lot of things in this game where you unlock extra chests, you unlock secret passages, so I like to make note of all those to go back to later. And with most of the Switch games, I really liked that I can play handheld and then I can also just pop it on the TV if I want to. So I don't have a physical copy of this, which I would like, but for some reason they're very expensive, and you can get it with the Switch Online expansion pass, so it just made sense to me to play it that way. It did get a bit frustrating sometimes, having to change between all the different items, which I didn't love, but it is what it is. With the amount of hours that I spent on this game, it kind of just became second nature to do that. But yeah, very in-depth, very enjoyable. I do wish that it had some sort of toggle where you could toggle Link shouting off, so that every time I rolled to get somewhere quicker, he wasn't screaming every 2 seconds, but it is what it is. The next game is another PlayStation Plus game, and it's called Call of the Sea. I started and completed this game just like Cheer. They were both probably about 6 hours in length, I think. I didn't collect all the trophies for either of them because I was just kind of trying to get through as many games as I could before it ran out. But this was really fun. It was mainly a puzzle game, so you're trying to find your husband, Harry. He's gone on an adventure. It wasn't too difficult either. There was a couple of times I had to look up how to solve the puzzle because it was a bit difficult, but that only happened sort of maybe once or twice. And it was interesting where it went. I do have to say though, I hated the ending. I was really disappointed when I got to the end of the game, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it turned out the way it did. You'll know if you've played, maybe. Let me know in the comments below how you found that ending. I was disappointed. I don't want to say much to it. I don't want to say too much to spoil it. But I really wanted those answers, if that makes sense, for anybody who's played it, and not have to end it the way it did. But nevertheless, I would recommend it. Visually, it was lovely. I think the voice actress is someone who did a character in the Walking Dead video game. I've not played that, but if you're into that, that might be a bonus for you. But yeah, if anybody has any recommendations for games similar, because I really enjoyed the whole puzzle solving aspect of it, please do let me know. The next game that I started probably doesn't need any introductions. Yes, I have apparently been living under a rock for the past couple of decades of my life. I've never played this, so the first time I played this is this one, the part 1, the remastered version. I've got the physical copy, which I bought when I got my PS5, and it's just taken me so long to play it. It's one of the reasons I've set this goal for 2024 is because I was saving a lot of games because I did want to make content with them and share it with people, and I don't really have a lot of friends in real life that I can do that with. This month was the month I started it. I want to watch the TV show, which I don't want to do until I've finished it, and then obviously the remaster for part 2 was coming out, which I wanted to play it on release, but again didn't want to play it until I'd finished the first story, which is how it should be. But so far loving it. Visually stunning. I've never played a game like it before. The level of detail is just unmatched. I am finding it difficult. I've not played a game where you've had to kind of be like stealthy like that before, but my boyfriend got me the guidebook for my birthday last year, so I've got that if needs be. I'm only about a few hours into it. I've just got to the bit where we've met Bill, I think his name's Bill, and we've got in his car in his garage. But I've been streaming this, so if you're interested, do follow along. Next one is a game that I've been playing since it released. It's an ongoing game that I tend to pick up mostly only when there's new events like this Star Path. It was supposed to be free to play after early access, but it changed, so you still have to pay for it. And I do have a bit of qualms with this game. The decorating for me I struggle with because my Switch still tends to crash. They have brought DLC out for it which you can pay for, but I personally think that time should have gone into making it less buggy, more playable when decorating, less crashes, because to me it still does feel like it's in early access. It's always a struggle every time I leave a building. It freezes for a good few seconds. That does bother me, but I still do pick it up. I do love the game. It's kind of like a remaster of Disney's Magical World if anyone played that on the DS, and there's constant updates for it with regards to content, so you get new characters all the time, you have new micro purchases that you can use the in-game currency with, and these star paths that happen quite often, which is the main thing that tends to get me to pick the game back up. Next game is Fortnite. Me and my boyfriend have played this on and off ever since we met, kind of, but this year we really got into it. We don't have a lot of friends and family that live nearby, the closest are like an hour away, so we tend to not get a lot of socialisation, but our friend actually got a PS5 and she downloaded this and we all somehow got into Fortnite, but it's been one of the best things this year, I think. We tend to get together quite a few weeknights and we can all play together online. My boyfriend's downstairs on his Xbox, I'm upstairs on the PS5, and then our friends, we have 1 or 2 friends that tend to join, and it's just really nice. I get very competitive though, which I don't know if that's good for me, so it's not very relaxing, but I love it. I don't know what it is. I love trying to win. Speaking of Fortnite, obviously it had a lot of updates and Lego Fortnite was one of them, and I know a lot of people really got into this, myself included. It was very short-lived. It's kind of giving Minecraft in the sense that you can explore, you can mine, you can forage, go on adventure, all different kind of places and get different ingredients. But yeah, I kind of stopped playing. I've put it under the DNF pile because I've not wanted to pick it back up. I don't know if that's just me. I'm personally kind of afraid to sink time into it because I know that's what will happen. I'll get sucked into it and I will put a lot of hours in games like that. So maybe that's my own personal kind of hesitation towards it, just because I know that I will not get anything else done if I play that. But it was fun nonetheless. I started collecting games for the Mega Drive when I got one a couple of years ago, and I've probably played like one. So every week I was trying to play a new one, and so far I've only managed one. It's the Jungle Book. And Sega Mega Drive games are hard. Like the older games are a lot more difficult, I think. It takes a lot of trial and error, and it can get very frustrating when you die, because when you die you can't just start from your save point, you have to start the whole game again. But they do have cheat codes, which is great. But yeah, there's not much to say about it really. If you know, you know. You might have played this when you were younger. I love Sega Mega Drive. It's the first console that I ever played, and so I'm really finding a lot of joy in rediscovering games from my childhood. And I don't know if I ever did play this one as a kid, but playing it now, still fun. It's just kind of like a little arcade retro platformer, and I love the Disney games, so it's a yes from me. Continuing on my Zelda journey, the next game in the timeline was Four Swords. So I downloaded this on my 3DS because there's an anniversary edition where you can play single player. Originally you could only play multiplayer, and I don't have any friends, so I couldn't do that. I don't know what I was expecting from this game. I think I was kind of expecting a similar experience to Minish Cap. This was not that. It was probably about 2 to 3 hours in length. It was very heavily focused on getting like rupees, like it was inundated with rupees, and I think the aim of the game is to kind of beat your friend. Like there's 2 of you playing. I think one of the goals is to try and get as many rupees as you can. But it did have kind of like the standard Zelda map, so you've got, 3 places that you need to conquer, and Vati's still there that you need to defeat him. But yeah, it just didn't really give me what I was looking for in the Zelda games. It's one that you could probably miss. It did have some cool aspects where it pulled from other Zelda games, like this one, which I believe was Link's Awakening, the original one. So that was kind of fun to see all the other Zelda games come back in it, but I didn't love it. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. I remember thinking I couldn't wait for it to just finish so I could move on to the next one. But yeah, this one was a no from me. Other games that I started collecting were the PS1 games, which were a huge part of my childhood, A Bug's Life being one of them. This is a classic, you might have already played it yourself. So far it's been kind of fun. It is pretty basic, as with a lot of games like this. There was a time where, a movie came out and then a video game would come out of it, which I kind of love. I love going back to stuff like that. It makes up a lot of my game collection, to be honest. And again, Disney games I really enjoy playing because I love Disney in general. But yeah, I still do find them really difficult. There's something about the older games. I think you're left to your own devices a lot more than newer games. I know you can probably turn them off in games like things like The Last of Us and stuff like that. You get hints and tips. You can start again from your save point. These do get tedious in that sense, where you do have to start right from the beginning again, or at least have to go through the whole PlayStation starting up, and then you can load where you're from. This one particularly annoyed me because once you killed the enemies in the level, they came back, which was really frustrating. I hated that, to be honest. I wish they just stayed dead. But yeah, fun little game nonetheless. I've yet to finish it, but I think I'm probably going to finish it in the next stream. This is a statement, but this is probably my favourite PS2 game to ever exist, ever. Definitely in the top 5, at least. It's a classic, everyone loves it, everyone I've spoken to loves it. When I've shared videos of it, everyone's like, oh, the best game. Needs a remaster, everyone agrees on that. It's just brilliant. I don't know if I've ever completed it, which I aim to do, so I'm about 3 levels in at the minute, but one of the things I love about games like this, and similar to things like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, is the collectibles. I love games where you can do that. This is inundated with it. It has all different costumes you can collect, different cars, cards in each level to collect, gags, which are like little fun things that you can find around the area. Oh, it's just the best. I love it. I still have quotes like ingrained in my brain from this game that I still say in my daily life when I'm driving. And if you haven't played it, I highly, highly recommend that you do. You will not be disappointed. And if you love Simpsons, win-win. So the next Zelda game in my little lineup of games to play, I'm doing them chronologically in timeline order. So it was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. There still is a save file for this one from a guy called Jason from 2015. I can't bring myself to delete it. But so far, I have found it a bit of a slow burner to get into. I'm honestly finding it difficult, but I do have the guidebook for this, which is hopefully going to help. I haven't got too far into it where I've needed it yet, but yeah, it's interesting. I do like the mechanics of the game. I like that you can move the 3DS around, although it does get a bit annoying trying to things like slingshot the enemies, and the graphics aren't the best. But I really think this game would benefit from a remaster as well. I don't know if there has been one. I don't think there is. I think a lot of people are asking for it to be brought to the Switch and the Switch Online. But I know this is up there with one of the top Zelda games that a lot of people enjoy, so I'm hoping it's going to get a lot better. I'm interested to see where the story goes, but yeah, this is an ongoing one that I'm still working through, and hopefully might finish it in February. I don't know about anybody else, but my entire TikTok For You page is filled with people streaming this game, and probably for good reason, because this game had me in a chokehold. I'm not kidding, I lost at least 2 full days just rotting away playing this game. I think you can play it on Steam, but you have to pay for it, but you don't get ads. I downloaded it on my iPad. There is ads, but it's not unbearable, and it's free to download initially. It's just so much fun. There's a lot of different customization options. You can save money, decorate the little pizzeria, and customers just keep coming in, making different orders, and you make them pizza. That's pretty much all there is to it. They have a lot of different updates, I think. There's like seasonal events that happen, but I haven't picked this one up again after those couple of days, so it was short-lived. But again, it could just be my own hesitation knowing that it will take hours away from me, which is valid. You know, we are allowed our rot days. But yeah, I don't know what they put in this game, but it is just so addictive. I also think it is available on the Switch. However, personally, I mean, I've not played it. If you have, do let me know your experience with it. The iPad was great because it had such a big screen, but the Switch is tiny, so I can't imagine it being great trying to get the tiny top-ins in the little spaces. But I could be wrong. I've not played it on the Switch. That's just how I feel like I would probably find it. My experience was with the iPad. It was great. I would love no ads, but it is what it is. I don't want to spend any money on it because as the type of person I am, I can play games and put them down and not pick them up again. So I'm always very hesitant to pay because of that. But yeah, it was a yes from me. I loved it. I do want to play it again. I am just scared. And the last game that I started in January was Super Mario Wonder. Now I saw this advertised obviously in the directs and stuff like that, and I wasn't running to pre-order it or anything or download it, and then I was constantly seeing clips of some of the levels on TikTok, especially like the rhythm levels, and I was like, surely it can't be that difficult. Like, people are saying it took them like 100 goes. It looked super easy. That alone made me want to buy it just to see what it was all about, and pleasantly surprised. I never smiled so much when I played this game for the first hour. It's gorgeous to look at. Like, the visuals are just so bright and colourful and delicious, and I don't know if it's just because I was so used to playing a lot of the retro games and then I put this on and it was like, wow. But yeah, delicious. The music as well, 10 out of 10. It's just delightful. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just absolutely delightful to play. I've probably sunk about 2 or 3 hours into it. It's not been too difficult so far. But yeah, this is an ongoing one. I've still yet to complete it. I know a lot of people I've spoken to have had very high compliments of this game. They, took time off work to play it. They've already completed it 100%. So I'm really looking forward to continuing it. You can also play co-op with this one. So I did take it downstairs and put it on the big screen for me and my boyfriend to play. I don't love playing it with another person, personally. I was getting very frustrated, like having to wait for them. So I don't know if we'll be playing it together anytime soon, but I am excited to play it on my own. And that's all the games that I played in January. I don't think I'm missing any. But if you've made it to the end, I do hope you've enjoyed watching. I don't really have any plans for February, I don't think. Just working through all of these games and my current backlog, so it's always a mix of a Mega Drive game, a PS1 game, a PS2 game, PS5 game, and a Switch game, usually. I have been itching to try Baldur's Gate 3, but I've managed to stop myself so far. I'm kind of trying to put myself on a little gaming ban until I've worked through all the games. But yeah, let me know if you've played any of these and what you thought, and whether you agreed with any of the comments. And if you have any recommendations for games that you think I should play or would enjoy, please do let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!